Hey guys, so it's 3:15 right now, and in the morning, and I am not tired, or I'm tired, but I don't want to go to sleep. And it's Sunday, I guess, on this day. So that's why I'm making this video. Also, I posted a video recently, but like it was from like a few weeks ago. So um, about my hair, um, but yeah. And so I guess by the title of this video, you can tell that this is part of the whole like, depression series that I talk about making, and that I have like made 2 videos about it already, I think. Um, um, yeah. So how can I say this? You're not sure about the people around you, and they may not be helping your depression, I guess. That should be the title of this video. I don't know if it's gonna be the title of my video or not. I don't know. Something like that, I believe. Um, this is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while. I just haven't gotten around to do it. I've been busy with school and everything, and doing dual credit next year for cosmetology out of college. So I'm really happy about that. Um, yeah. Um, I guess, but anyway. Um, uh, so when I say that the people around you may be causing your depression or maybe worsening it, I mean that maybe you're aware and you just don't, what to do about it, or maybe you're not aware and you don't know that it's them, you know, or maybe, if it doesn't pertain to you, then, I mean, maybe there are other reasons why you know, maybe there are other reasons with what's causing your depression. My brain's moving so slow. um, uh, so when I say that the people that are around you, that are causing your depression and you're aware, or first let me start off by saying that you're not aware. Yeah, no, let me start by saying people that are aware. Sorry. If you're aware that the people that you're surrounded by, are causing your depression or whatever, like friends, if they're, your friends, that are causing your depression, that, maybe they're saying things to you, and you know that it's, affecting you, in that way, um, then I would suggest totally moving away from them. If you're not moving away from them because you're afraid of what other people will think, then, they don't matter. And I'm not just saying that, as a, just saying that. I'm saying it because they don't matter. If it's the people, at school, just random ass people, that are saying, oh, you're a loser because you don't have friends or whatever, then, they don't fucking know what's going on with you, so don't fucking listen to them. If it's like relationships or whatever, and your boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever is, I guess speaking from experience, a lot of my issues kind of weird, in a sense, whatever. If they're, not treating you the way that, you know, you feel you deserve, I guess. I don't know if that's the best way to say that. But if, they're treating you, if they're acting a certain way to you and you know that that's causing your depression, then you need to talk to them. And if they're still treating you that way, then you need to break up with them. And it's so much easier said than done. But, I mean, I would rather, wouldn't you rather, being out of a relationship and being happy, not being happy that you're by yourself. But I mean, wouldn't you rather be by yourself and be happy than be in a relationship that causes you misery? That just seems like the more logical thing to me. And um, so if you're having some kind of friend issue or whatever, and it's causing you anxiety or depression or whatever, then you need to try to talk to those people. And if they're not willing to comply, I hate that word. If they're not willing to think more about how their words affect other people, then make them feel. That does not make any sense. I'm sorry. Um, then you know what? You don't need those people in your life. You should be happy, and if you're not aware that it's the people around you that are causing your depression or worsening it, then I would suggest, thinking about previous issues or whatever, or previous conversations. It can be as easy as a conversation to, cause someone's, state of depression, to worsen. Think about those people, and, think about how they're reacting to things that you've said, and think about how that's made you feel, and think about, I guess, this might sound totally, like unnecessary or whatever, but I mean, I swear it can make a difference. Think about, the way they are, as a human being, are they nice to other people, how are their morals, that kind of thing. I used to have a group of friends, that were a certain way, I'm not like bad or anything, but I guess them being a certain way, it wasn't like bad. I can't say that and then say, oh yeah, I wasn't friends with them because of that reason. I mean, to other people, it wouldn't seem, bad, but to me, I guess, during that time, I guess I didn't really care, and only after I broke up with my previous boyfriend did I realize, that what they're saying and how they're acting is affecting me, words come back. Yeah, like, it was only after I had broken up with my previous boyfriend and everything that I realized that, they weren't helping the situation. I had said, just, normal, things, I guess. Uh, I guess it was just how they were responding to me and the things that they said that I didn't agree with, Obviously, things that they say, deals with them, but, I mean, I guess it's just how they said it and I guess how I felt about it. I guess, being a friend or whatever. And then it was just, I guess, the way that they made me feel themselves, I guess. Like, I felt like I wasn't being heard. I felt like they didn't, really appreciate me or whatever, that kind of thing around that area. And so, recently, I want to say a month or so ago, I stopped going to lunch with those people. I stopped going to the table after school, meeting with them or whatever. I recently had I don't want to say an argument, because then it's a disagreement, I'm just gonna say, with someone who I used to be friends with, we used to be like sisters, that kind of thing, before recently, like a few years ago or so, what recently happened, and we both used to hang out around those people, and I guess I've been feeling since the beginning of the school year that she had changed in some way. I couldn't exactly, I guess I still can't exactly, put my finger on it, but I guess they had changed as a person, and we all do that, we all change in some way, and that's normal. Sometimes it's normal for people to not change at all, it just depends on the person, but I guess I had felt like they had changed not for the best, but I still kind of, I guess, ignored it or put it to the side or whatever, because they were my friend at the time, and I, still cared for them and everything, so there's still, there were still those feelings of, like, oh, I know this person, and they were my friend, so I'm gonna still care for them and everything. But then, lately, I had been feeling as if, they didn't want to talk to me or whatever. I had asked them several times before, at the earlier part of the school year, hey, we should totally hang out or whatever. And then they just kind of blew it off and went over to hang out with the rest of the group. And so I just kind of, stood there feeling rejected, that kind of thing. And so, yeah. And, I mean, recently, it may have been over something stupid, but their reaction to it just hurt my feelings. Saying, me saying, hey, we should totally do this or whatever, and then them saying, oh, well, like, oh, well, you should have known I didn't want to do that with you. Like, first of all, that makes you sound like a bitch. Secondly, if you really cared about me, wouldn't you not act that way? I mean, it's not saying, oh, it's me. I'm just saying, like, as a normal human being, wouldn't you think to not act that way? That kind of thing, it's fucking human logic. And then secondly, saying, oh, I mean, don't you have anybody else to, bother? Not necessarily saying bother, but just giving off that kind of vibe. Like, excuse me, ma'am. But, I mean, it's that kind of thing. It's ridiculous shit like that. I mean, recently it's not been, but that was, ridiculous. And they haven't said anything to me. I haven't bothered to talk to them. They haven't bothered to talk to me. And, that's perfectly fine. If they're gonna be, a bitch to me, then I don't need them in my life. It's just another person making me feel crap about myself, whatever. And after my recent breakup or whatever, it's been the whole hindsight thing, Like, I guess they were the major cause of my depression, shall I say. They themselves had been, depressed and everything, and that's totally, understandable, I thought it was interesting at the time, that they were actually able to, understand, what I was going through and everything. But then at the same time, it was the whole kind of, that person was narcissistic in a way. And they were, I guess depressed, and so like, oh, I'm sad. And that's totally, fine to admit, But the constant, like, oh, we're talking about this, and then you suddenly bring that up, like, I guess now looking back at it, like, that's terrible. It was more of the whole, like, oh, woo was me type of thing than, hey, I have an issue, and I, need help. It was more of the whole woo is me thing than asking for help. And it's totally fine to ask for help, but when you're, being the whole, oh, woo is me type of thing, And so, I mean, yeah, that was another thing. And so I guess they kind of made me feel like my depression, my state of mind at that time wasn't as important. And so, the whole feeling of like, oh, other people making you feel like you're not important. And then you're left with this whole like, oh, I'm not important, I'm irrelevant, why should I even be here? That kind of mindset, starts to occur. And so it was that. And then I guess, and this was me realizing this all in the whole hindsight thing. I'm starting to feel like this whole video is becoming a narcissistic thing. It's terrible. But yeah, people, you may, but yeah, you should totally, think about the people that you're surrounded by, and, wonder, if how they're reacting to things that you say, think about how, the way they're reacting to things, if they react a certain way, I guess, like, if they're putting down your favorite fandom, like, shouldn't they care enough to not put down your favorite fandom, even if it's something that they don't like, like, shouldn't they care enough, to not be an asshole about it, that kind of thing, like, being like, oh, I like Sherlock, and then having them be like, oh, they're promoting, gay or whatever, something ridiculous like that, and then they're being an asshole about it. Like, you're an asshole. Just. And then another thing is, if you're someone that's quiet and shy and everything, don't be as far as being sad and everything goes, because it's not gonna help you, and it's gonna show them, even though that maybe they're not thinking about it at the time. But I mean, if you don't say anything about it, about them being an asshole, or saying something, or if they say something to you and you feel like it's hurting you in some way, or if it makes you feel like crap, then you bring it out to them. You shouldn't be afraid to do that. I mean, yeah, don't don't out them or whatever, like, be in the middle of lunch table and be like, hey, what you said to me was rude, I don't like that. I mean, if you're that type of person, then go ahead and do that, but I mean, if you want to have more tact, then I would suggest, pulling them off to the side or whatever, and see how they react to that. If they don't care what you have to say, then they're not worth being friends with, because if you're hurt or whatever and they don't care, you don't need that. Like, what kind of friend does that? So yeah, it's been 17 minutes, that's a long ass video. Yeah, I like talking a lot. But yeah, try to eliminate the people, in your life. I mean, if it's a parent or whatever, I guess try to maybe minimalize your contact with them, if it's a thing where you have to talk to them, then, you have to talk to them. But I mean, outside of that, if it's not something mandatory, then you should minimalize your contact with them. Try to get rid of, realize that you're important in this world, realize, because I mean, depression, causes, self-esteem issues and everything. And, maybe it kind of seems weird to me, but it means whatever, maybe you're not depressed and you have self-esteem issues, realize that you're important, you weren't, put here, to just, feel bad, realize that you're, put here for a reason, whether you haven't found that out or not yet, that's, but I mean, at least try to, make yourself happy, Anyway, it's 19 minutes and 10 seconds, so I should probably hang out this video. Hang out this video? What? Hang up this video? Oh my god. Excuse me. But yeah. I've been watching way too many Onision videos. He's hilarious, and I feel bad for the people that don't realize he's being sarcastic, or whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't agree with some of the stuff he says, but I mean, it's whatever. He's funny. It's just his personal opinion. People really need to understand the difference, personal opinion and everything. Anyway, I'm talking way too much. So I'll hopefully be able to get this video put up sometime soon, if not the day that I videotape it. It's May 15th. My birthday is this Thursday. Or should I say Thursday? I'm starting to get really, like, into the whole, like, fandom thing and everything. I'm a huge Marvel fan. So I'm like, oh, it's Thursday and everything. And I'm wearing a Tom Hiddleston shirt, you know. Loki is bae. For me, anyway. Oh my gosh. That's actually Thomas Sharp from Crimson Peak. But anyway, it's the same freaking actor. I'm rambling now. Okay. Good night, or good morning. It's 20 minutes and 40 seconds. Okay. Bye, guys. I'm Hiddleston.